Welcome back. We're here. It's the Mocktown podcast. We're back in action. It's a break week, so no chapter reviews this week.
And that's the episode. Thank you very much.
And that's the entirety of
thanks
it.
for coming.
This is the Mocktown podcast. That's the outro. We're here with my co-host Declan.
Yo.
And my name is Saxon, and we're here to just talk about some One Piece.
The host with the most.
The host. Yeah, too nice to me. I think today we're not really going to preface much. It's all going to be sort of all over the place. We're just going to talk about a few things we want to talk about. I know one thing I want to touch on is in Nell's cover story. If you watched our mural episode, you'll know that we made some links, and I think there's just... We cooked. We cooked is what the reality is.
Yeah.
But just wanted to delve a little deeper into some of those things and really start to touch, because I think the more as I'm watching Skypiea right now, I really do think that Skypiea is a shortened version of the conflict with the world government. Maybe not the story of as a whole, but I think Enel is an analogy for Emu, or as a comparison and a parallel. I'll get into that later. My lovely co-host Declan actually has a few ideas he wants to bring to the table, so I thought let's start the episode strong.
We are having fun today. It's been such a big thing recently where people are doing card unboxings.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We got some cards.
I'm a fan of the One Piece TCG, so this is very exciting.
We're going to make some money.
Yeah, we're going to pull, I think there's a $500 Big Mum.
Who knows?
It's one of the most expensive ones, but...
Apparently there's a new set that comes out this Friday.
Yes. Box set 3, I believe, or run 3 comes out.
OP8 and OP10.
Yeah, I've only really touched the first box set that came out. I have played the game a little bit. It's really fun. I actually think it's probably the most fun TCG I've played.
Interesting.
It's pretty simple.
Because I've been smashing the Pokemon TCG Pocket.
Yes, yeah, of course. I think One Piece would thrive so much more, the One Piece TCG, if they just released an identical version of that. And also integrated the being able to put your physical cards into the game like there was in the old Pokemon, and I don't know if you can still do that.
No idea.
But back in the day, if you open Pokemon cards, they come with a little code, put those into a computer game, and you get the pack again. I think that as a mobile app for the One Piece TCG would be a 10 out of 10. This is really fun. All right, how do you want to do this?
Well, I bought two of each of the OP10, OP8.
Mm-hmm.
One's got gear Tankman, so just
Tankman Gear 4.
Tankman Gear 4, and the other one's got some old school fellas, Whitebeard and Silver Rayleigh.
Yeah, I think the old school one is probably going to have some real gangster looking cards.
So I was thinking one each.
One each.
Yeah.
Very fair. Well, thank you very much for this fun little segment. Would you like to start off with the first pack?
Yeah, I'll give it a crack.
Yeah, crack that bad boy open.
Right.
We're going to have to be putting mics down. It's going to be a little awkward.
I'll put it on mute so it doesn't ruffle around.
Yes, good call.
Does that work? Could I...
I don't know. That's controversial.
Is this something that would work?
Hey, let's try it.
I'm not going to put it on mute. I'll calm down.
Yeah, you need to be able to talk. But yeah, just start the day with, how are you guys? Tell us in the comments, how are you feeling about One Piece right now? Obviously, Elbaf has been the topic of discussion. I think this episode's going to be a little fun. We will maybe branch into some more stuff outside of Elbaf and a little less topical stuff, which is exciting.
I have very sweaty hands, and I'm trying to be careful in case there is something valuable.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Not the game of sweaty hand people. TCGs, not for the sweaty handed.
I'm struggling.
This guy's really struggling. They are, from knowledge, I think they have a rip point, and they're pretty stiff everywhere else.
Now, do you know if I have to...
There is no trick in particular that I know of. I do know that most packs come with a few foils or special cards. So yeah, let's go through it.
they'll pop up on screen as I am doing this. I think that's the best way. Instead of, we're not going to do POV, POV, and should I open it or should I keep it sealed?
Oh, well, open it up. It's cracked. Get that puppy open. Starting off, one of the Yeti Cool brothers.
Oh, Bellamy?
Bellamy. I love Bellamy.
We saw him just out the front because this is the Mocktown pub.
He was bouncing around and he got wrecked by some rookie named Straw Hat, I think it was. Cool vest, though. Ruden. Topical.
I don't know if you can see anything from this, but don't worry, they'll be bigger.
They will be. We're gonna make sure that this is all very visible for you. We got the big boy.
Can you say it?
Frankie. Cuddy Flam. Super! No, I can't do it. But big ups Frankie. Big Frankie guy. Oh, yeah. A law. That looks like... The weak do not have the right to choose how they die. Damn, that's... Like it's...
It's a trap card.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a rough trap. Ooh, who is that? Psy. Oh my god. I haven't thought about Psy from Dressrosa in a long time. Tontada. Bien. Zoro. Cool. Classic. Big Foxy. I'm a big Foxy guy. Actually, do you want those quickly? Got a little Foxy Funko. I thought that was a pretty rare sight to see Foxy deserve a Funko, so I wanted to get that. Sugar. She was a character that existed. And I felt very little about it. Oh, okay. Shiny Marco. We got a little bit of a foil here. We got a little bit of a, I would say reverse hollow would be the designation. We got a Violet reverse hollow as well. Yeah. Nice. That's the full set.
Yep, that's
All
it.
right.
I'm happy with this Marco. That's pretty cool.
Should I start with OP10 like you, and then we'll do OP8 together?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Easy peasy.
It's just, yeah. I'm gonna try to keep these in order so everyone on this, everyone watching at home can view them at the same time as well. Oh, you open yours way faster.
Yeah,
I don't know what
I followed the rip line.
Thought it was the grand line.
Ah,
legend. Starting off.
My goat.
Maybe I'll do this for you.
We could do this. Oh yeah, teamwork makes the dream work, baby. We got Blue Gilly, the guy with the long legs tribe. Inazuma.
Oh, you're just speeding through this.
I am speeding through them. Sengoku, my goat for real.
He's got his own goat.
He's got his own goat.
Oh.
We've got Frankie and Chopper's body. Now, classic moment. I
Chasm?
also love that in the background they put Robin's disgusted face that you'll be able to see post credits. We got Whitebeard.
Oh, Newgate
getting
himself.
the full fucking Edward Newgate name. Sorry. 10-layer Inglu. That's a trap card. Momonosuke, but as his art form, like from, I would assume, the Korazumi that sucked.
You're teasing things. You're pulling them half
Mochi.
down.
We got Killer,
Nice.
the only part of...
Ooh.
We got a reverse hollow
That
Basil
looks pretty
Hawkins. Oh, shit.
What is that?
We got a Supernova Monkey D. Luffy full art shiny.
I kind of.
He's hitting that Gun Gatling.
Is that a rare one?
I don't know. I can't say whether or not it's worth anything, but what I can say is these cards just look and feel amazing.
Yeah, they definitely feel better than Pokemon cards I used to collect.
Yeah. It just feels like there's that little bit of extra like thickness to them.
And yeah, that's a PSA 10.
Let's say that. This is actually worth $10 million. New production set. We're just going to buy a whole production set off selling this one card.
I got something very gold in this one.
That'd be sick if we... Got some gold. Yeah.
Very gold.
Very gold. I hope it's Gold Roger related. Being a Legends pack.
Spello.
Sparrow.
Lame.
Lame indeed.
S-Bear. Is that how we're doing it?
This is how we're doing it. You were able to do it for me. I'll do it for you. We got S-Bear.
S-Bear, that's a fun one. Bam.
The Moby Dick. The Moby Dick.
Bleep that one.
It's a whale. No. Come on, YouTube.
Oh,
Be real.
the Whitebeard pirate.
Speed Hill.
He's dead.
Don't remember him.
I think we only saw him on Marineford.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of guys like that. I don't know who that is either.
I think this is going back to Drum Kingdom. I remember this. Ooh,
Wow.
picked that little gold one.
Oh my god, yeah, the Afro guy. Yeah, I do remember that.
Fucking cards are slipping everywhere.
Man, a lot more Afro references back in pre-time skip.
I don't mind this guy. The little Eggman. I thought he was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, we got Candy Maiden.
Yep.
Yep. I don't. Yeah.
Alba.
We got King, baby.
Oh, is that his name?
That's it. That's it. Yeah, they've given out the Govey, which don't know how I feel about that. You know,
Who have we got
like
next?
King be King.
Ooh, Sheep's Head.
I don't remember him at all.
That's fine.
Do you?
Nope.
We got Big Ma. We got a trap card.
Weird.
It's to die for.
Yeah, that's what's happening. That's,
That's a. She got her cake and she ate it.
Sure. Got a creamy cake. Boom. Sasaki.
Sasaki.
Yeah.
Sasaki.
I don't know. Something that sucks.
Isn't that not
Animal
who's who?
Kingdom.
Oh.
Thank you for loving me.
Okay, we're gonna start crying. I guess that's what it is.
This is a look at the dead ace
We
card.
got the Dead Ace trap card. That's so sad. Why you got to give us flashbacks to that? And from this, we're gonna pull
Oh, look at this
a
Luffy.
Black Lotus.
Damn. This Luffy one's sick.
The Luffy one is very cool, and the art on these cards is just like 10 out of 10 as well.
The only card I know that's worth something is the Manga Nami. I don't know which set that's in. That's just. Do you know?
No, but I believe there now is like a pretty big expensive Kaido card and maybe an expensive Big Mom card. I think there's a few that are pretty exy. There's a couple like one of 1,000s, I think, but I can't.
It would be cool if we pulled a profit from this.
Oh, it'd be cool if we pulled a profit, but it would be really cool if we pulled something so profitable that we could get better microphones.
Let's just get a studio.
Let's get a studio.
Sorry, I'm just putting my cards in order again so I know what to take photos of. Would you like me to mic you up?
You know what? You just do the talking this time.
Yeah, it's it's a little bit easier. Don't start from the back. Oh, stop! You're rough. You're just peeking everywhere.
I'm a little peeker. We got Gin Rummy. Great card game. Don't remember the character.
Can anybody hear you right now? Or am I doing the talking?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
How about I do the reveal?
Yeah,
Look at
that teamwork makes the dream work.
Hold up.
Charlotte Poirier. I don't remember her either, but,
No, but
obviously a Big Mum
Like to remember.
daughter.
Boom.
Shishillin.
Yeah, we're chilling.
Shishillin, we chillin' with Shishillin.
Oh my god, sorry, I'm not going fast enough for you.
Nitro.
Yep.
Don't remember. It's crazy how many characters. Giovanni, I do remember him. Pretty hard to forget a zebra that is also a swordsman. Oh, we got You Can't Take Our King This Early in the Game from Marco, yeah. Nice little trap card. We got Ulti, again, topical in the cover story that we love in this podcast. Iron Body Fang Flesh. Whose move is a trap card or event card,
Yeah,
sorry.
I wonder how who's going. Dead.
He's dead. Well, I don't think.
Arlong?
No, Charlotte Opera.
Ah.
I don't remember them at all.
I don't know how I saw Arlong.
I don't know either, but I can sort of. Yeah, I can accept it.
God damn.
Noki. Yep.
No comment?
Charlotte Katakuri. As a kid, eating donuts. My favorite form of Charlotte Katakuri.
Alright, you ready?
Yep. Ooh, we got a full art carrot. Yeah, that one's actually sick.
I'm a bust.
Oh yeah, are we carrot fans? Are you a carrot guy?
I was impartial. If
Yeah.
Carrot joined the crew, I'd go, alright.
I was sort of very hopeful she didn't join the crew just because I felt like with as much time we had spent with her, I just didn't feel like I had developed any sort of real connection to them. Like even, I would say every single character within their first arc that joined the squad, joined the crew, I was like, all right, I'm all for this. Thank you very much. This was a really fun experience. These are really great cards. And yeah, it was fun doing something a little diffy.
Some of them are sexy, dare I say.
Yeah, well, hey, look, they've got some full body art, am I right? You talking about that Big Mum one?
Well drawn cards. That's a fucking.
That's one. That's a card. Hey, look, One Piece has never shied away.
No, but I feel like that one should be at least pixelated.
You could probably do some. You probably didn't have to do that exact image.
That frame.
That frame. But yeah, no, very, very fun, very interesting.
I wonder if we made any money.
Yeah, hopefully we pulled something good. Maybe even something just that's good competitively.
People like, fun. I'll pay $500 for that.
They're like, oh my god, I'll buy you a studio.
I got nothing else. I've just got drink.
He's pulled out the white monster. Shit, that's actually what they've been calling Luffy in the World News Organization.
You know how it's you are what you eat,
buddy.
I am what I drink.
Yeah.
Roar. the monster within.
Yeah. I respect that. I don't know. The camo hat really fills in the white monster vibe as well.
Yep.
The combination of it all is...
Hat that says Viagra.
Oh, shit. It does too. Shout out the Viagra boys.
Swedish punk band.
Yeah. Can't say I listen, but can't say I also don't. I know their music. I know that. I've heard them before.
Good shit.
Yeah?
Yeah, buddy.
My personal favourite musician is Soul King Brook.
Alright, Gunko.
Me and Gunko, we share that in common. It's hard to hate someone with such great music taste despite being a literal oppressor of the world.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it is pretty sweet.
Should we get to...
I was thinking
cover story?
just before, is there anything throughout this Elbaf arc or in terms of expectations of its future that you have been like maybe not had the chance to really talk about?
Are you leading me on to something that you want me to discuss?
I would like it.
This is how Big Mum returns and destroys Elbaf.
Big Mum's back. That's Declan's bold claim.
You heard it here first. Oh, also, you told me this on Saturday night.
Yep.
Someone's been stealing our ideas.
Oh, yeah. Shout out O'Hara. I don't believe I watched the full video fully comprehensively because I was in bed. But there was a video that O'Hara released regarding the moon and its playing on the ancient kingdom.
Dare I say, one of our 10 viewers is leaking our stuff.
One of our 10... There's someone shot him a DM and said, hey, guys... There's one person watching this podcast, but they're actually cooking all the time. It's just an hour and a half of cooking weekly. But yeah, no, I would love to get into the Big Mum. Do you want me to lay the foundation of where these beliefs come from? Or
No, I can go for it. So it was this whole idea of the weaknesses of So I think I saw a Reddit post. I was reading a chapter discussion about the previous one, so 1147, and someone was joking about how those nightmare mums were causing an issue for the pirates, and they said, "Oh, it's funny that the biggest weaknesses on Elbaf are fire, lightning, and mums."
Yes,
that was all the comments made.
Not to mention the Zeus is a nightmare.
Yeah, but that was all this comment person. That was all the comment this person made. Yeah, I think I said that just 5 times in a row. Yeah. Sorry, I'm having a fucking stroke. The monster's getting to me. Well, yeah, I've got a burrito in my belly and a monster in my hand.
Amen.
Fucking freedom.
Amen. You've got a lot of freedom.
Fucking red, white.
Just like chanting USA.
Red, white, blue, baby. But the Australian flag.
The Australian one. Not the.
Yeah,
not the fascist one.
Voted the fascists out.
Yeah, well, we didn't. He wasn't in, but it was getting shaky there for a second.
Shout out to my Canadians. You understood it last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, the comment didn't reference Big Mum, but I thought that's interesting how the biggest weaknesses Elbaf have is just fire, lightning, and mums as a joke. And then I thought about Big Mum herself. We mentioned this, I think it was the last chapter discussion, but Big Mum has Prometheus, or no, Prometheus and the other one.
Zeus, Prometheus, the
sword, but there was another son, isn't there?
Yes. No. So Zeus was replaced by
I forgot her name.
Cloud. That's the woman gendered Cloud.
Yeah.
Then there's
It's a very
Zeus.
basic name.
Yeah, I know. Keep riffing.
You can search it up. I'll keep riffing about my idea. And I just thought it was interesting that, you know, Big Mum can make homies out of anything. And we're on the land of giants, which is very reminiscent of like Asgard, you know, Viking mythology.
Oh yeah, well, Elbaf is absolutely it's got a lot of references. Just Viking mythology. Yggdrasil is the holder of the realms.
You've got Loki, someone called Loki.
Realms. Yeah, we've got characters called Loki. It's obviously based in Norse mythology or Viking history character designs. And look, the Viking history, it's more the Viking history of like Asterix and Obelisk, like the comic book. Like it's referencing more that side of, but that is also derived from Viking history. So you can sort of,
and you know, I started thinking. I just kept diving. I was joining the dots. What's the end of Asgard? Ragnarok. Ragnarok, I guess, can be perceived in multiple ways, but it is the end of Asgard itself. Now, if we go to Thor Ragnarok, I know it's a very basic movie, but Ragnarok is in the title, and at the end of the movie, spoilers, a massive lava monster appears, Surtur, with his giant sword, destroys Asgard. Now, let's say he's a lava monster. Where's Big Mum right now? Sent into lava. What would she do to save herself? As she's falling down, create a new homie. What's around her?
Yeah, magma.
Fucking lava. Magma, rocks, lava, just all of it together to create Surtur.
Yeah, like the core weaknesses, as you said, of Elbaf are
you going to
fire,
name a thundercloud after the god of thunder?
Yes.
Zeus.
Also, I've got the names of the full special homies.
Napoleon
is the hat.
Came to me.
Which is also the
sword.
blade. Like then we've got Prometheus. We've got the inverse of Prometheus. We've got another sun. You were right. That's Pandora. And then we've got Hera is the new homie to replace Zeus.
Yep.
And then we've got
Hera's
Misery.
got the pointy nose, doesn't she?
Yes. And then the name Misery is the name of the phantom-like creature that is a combination of Prometheus, Napoleon, and Hera. That's used in Wano. There's plenty of homies around. But yeah, no, I think you cooked with this one.
And there's also a giant sword on Elbaf.
Yes, there is.
That one that's just...
Yes.
Every time you see...
this is the second giant sword in 3 arcs. So we know that first sword now, that Onigashima was probably... The sword on Onigashima was probably an actual sword that was held by probably the skull of Onigashima. Again, like, I think we've been through the ores. The ores that we know does not seem like a continent puller. And I'm not talking about Little Oars Jr. I'm talking about the reanimated corpse of Oars. Just doesn't seem like it's necessarily a continent puller. That's a big claim. And with a skull on a country that is determined to be 12, I think, islands stitched together, you can probably suggest that he got the name Continent Puller by pulling those islands together to create the land of Wano. And you can probably assume that that was done by the what looks to be an ancient giant skull on Onigashima. Like, that would make sense as, like, a last hurrah. He's like, oh, the world's about to flood, which we know is probably what ended the war. They were like, oh, let's just make this really tall, walled-off island that has 12 islands connected to it. So Wano, clearly, you know, I think there's a very strong case to make that Wano was dealt with by oars. So the connection to Elbaf and Wano is obviously there. I also think you can't discount the fact that from introduction with Big Mum, it was almost more likely that she wasn't going to show up in Wano and she was going to show up in Elbaf again. And that's where Luffy was going to finish the job. Now, I think there is a chance that Oda went, I want to get rid of Big Mum and Kaido as antagonists as quickly as possible, and the quickest way to do that is take them out at the same time. There is that chance. But it is also putting Big Mum into a situation where she can theoretically get out with a giant made out of, or a homie made out of magma.
She a tough bitch.
She's got skin that's harder than anything we know. We can only really speculate that she was able to survive it, but at the same time, it's not unlikely that she could. She's gone through quite a lot of damage in her time, but also that could be the reason. Like there is a lot of reasons why you can look at Wano and go, these guys just lost. Like, Oda wrote it in a way that neither Big Mum or Kaido were at top strength, and Luffy couldn't beat them without help.
Yep.
And every pretty much major antagonist from Wano, they needed assistance taking out, except for really Queen and King, which Zoro and Sanji stood on business and were just like, no, let me handle this.
But also, what is the end game to Elbaf?
That's a really great question, and it's something I'd really, I'm happy to talk about my predictions for Elbaf. I think before coming into this arc, before I knew anything about Elbaf, my idea was that there was a chance we were going to meet Scopper Gabon there, and that we were going to do a training arc, and it was going to be similar to Salbodi, the first Salbodi incident. I thought there was going to be, you go onto an island, there was going to be world government trouble. Instead of maybe a split up this time, I think they're instead maybe going to, like, get out of the conflict. And I actually have a theory of how this conflict is going to end.
We'll go for it, because I'll quickly finish the Big Mum theory.
Yes, please.
Because I think this Big Mum comes back to end Elbaf, which will then disperse everyone from it.
Yeah,
and
okay.
To me, that's why I think...
Send the Giants to basically rally the Giants around the world and build an army up to face the world government.
Because I don't see them... I guess, they could just defeat these God's Knights and then go, all right, we go best be off now. Seems a bit underwhelming. I don't see the God's Knights as like a final fight for a arc.
I think this arc now... So yeah, my perspective was it was going to be a training arc. I didn't think there was going to be conflict, or if there was going to be conflict, I thought it would be with the Elbaf warriors, and just like the state of Elbaf. But obviously that is the case, but it's also not what the Straw Hats are fighting. I have a theory that, especially now, based on the last 2 weeks, and this isn't talking about the arc as a whole ending, but the conflict that is currently ongoing ending, I think it's going to end next chapter. And I think it's going to end in a way that doesn't cause damage to the reputation of the God's Knights, but actually we're going to sit here and go, well, the God's Knights won this interaction overall because they never actually lost a fight. I don't think they're ever going to be fighting the Elbaf Giants or Luffy, because with where the story's at, if Luffy shows up to fight any of the God's Knights, theoretically he's gonna win.
Hope so.
There's like I doubt that Oda is gonna create a whole group of opponents that are stronger than Luffy. I think he'll create a group. I think the whole God's Knights is probably in that tier, in that like slightly above Jinbei tier. Like Sanji and Zoro would struggle, but it'd be 50-50 if they win. I think both could win, both could lose. Luffy can probably beat everyone except for... Well, I think Luffy's Gorosei level now. Like,
he was turning Mercury into a frisbee.
Like, yeah, he was goofing around on Egghead with these guys, with the Gorosei. So I think it would be inappropriate of me to say that the people that protect or that work directly under the Gorosei are now stronger than Luffy. Luffy is, at this point, top 3 in the verse, and it's probably maybe 4. It's probably Blackbeard, Shanks, Emu are the only real contestants.
Because I guess if the God's Knights were more powerful than the Elders, they would have sent them to Egghead.
Exactly. Yeah. They wouldn't have needed a Gorosei to go to Egghead, let alone all 5. If they had an army of, let's say, I think it's like 12 in the silhouette, let's say 12 people, that they could have just been like, all right, we're going to send 10 of you off. You handle this. That would be a more efficient way of dealing with it, if they thought that the 10 combined was even a match to one Gorosei, which I don't think they do. But I do have a theory. Do you remember what sent the Gorosei home? What sent them packing?
Wasn't it the advanced Haki from
It was the Conqueror's Blast from the knot. Yeah, it was Emmett.
Emmett.
Yeah, Emmett had a knot that was imbued full of Conqueror's Haki that was held by Joy Boy. And it's actually the first hint of power scaling for Joy Boy, and we can see it was a Conqueror's Blast that knocked out pretty much everyone that wasn't exceptionally strong-willed, and it dissipated and sent back all of the Gorosei. So my thinking is, maybe the teleportation can't withstand Conqueror's Haki. The fact that their forms are they regenerate. The fact that they don't seem like they are flesh and blood anymore, but are instead some sort of magical resistance and ability to reform and restructure. I have a feeling that Conqueror's Haki may be the only way of destroying these creatures, and I'm thinking, where's a Conqueror's Blast going to come from? Because the only person we really know on the island, 100% confirmed Conqueror's Haki user that is on the side of the Elbaf Warriors is Luffy, and Zoro, sorry, and Sanji unconfirmed, but he will. I think Loki is going to have Conquerors. Like, we can
see that.
Yeah, he's known as the strongest person and the biggest threat on Elbaf. It would be
Son of a king,
wants to lead, wants to conquer. Yeah, it wants to be the god of destruction. Like, it would be weird for Oda to not have such a powerful character be powerful with the strongest power.
Yeah.
So my theory is this conflict is going to end. Loki's eaten. He's all tubby.
Big boy.
He's a big boy right now. Luffy's all tubby.
They're going to go.
They're blown up. Ooh. They're both going to breathe out and get
Shredded.
skinny and shredded again. And they're going to look at each other. And Loki's going to antagonize Luffy. And they're going to have a Conqueror's Clash. And that's going to cause the 3 Gods Knights to just get sent away, because it is such a powerful Conqueror's Clash that it's just going to send them away. They're going to dissipate, and they never really lose because they weren't even there. They weren't with the people that caused it. I think there has to be a reason why the teleportation maybe isn't used more for like intel and espionage stuff. Like you would think Emu, especially knowing that he's coming to an era where he has to prepare for another major conflict, I feel like in preparation, espionage would be the most logical thing when you've got such a strong power as teleportation. It's OP as. Like, it's the probably the one power that the Straw Hats still need. Whether it's teleportation in the same way, my personal theory, to pivot entirely here, bring this one. I've heard this from other people. This is not an original theory. I can't remember who originated or where, but the idea that every straw hat with a devil fruit is the name of the devil fruit is two numbers between 1 and 10. And the only two numbers left are Ni and Q. So Niku Niku Nomi, which is the pawpaw fruit. I think VV is going to rejoin the crew and receive the pawpaw fruit. And that gives them teleportation. Because that's, you know, like the send off, the slap thing. So yeah, that's like the power. But I think this form of teleportation can be dissipated by Conqueror's Haki, and I think the only way that enough Conqueror's Haki to match Joy Boys, or to be as effective as half of Joy Boys even, would be Luffy and Loki having a clash.
So powerful
that it just boom sends them off, and you really can't hold that against the Gorosei at that point.
See, for me,
or
it's either
the World Gulf.
That's great.
Or Loki kills Big Mom once she returns, and everyone sees him as a hero.
It could be that this is just part one of the story of the Elbaf arc.
God, I think we're gonna say part one of One Piece. This has just been part one.
It's just been part one. No, God, no. I would love to see this story end. I think the deeper I get into it, the more I'm like, all right,
it's time.
I want it. Yeah, I love that I get to experience it still, but I'm also like, I can't wait to see what it looks like, all wrapped up in a nice little bow.
Nice little Conqueror's bow.
Little Conqueror's bow. But everybody's gone. But yeah, that's my personal theory. And then the remainder of the arc is going to be a training / social conflict between Elbaf. Really delving into what Loki did, get his full backstory, get the whole King Harold situation. Really start to pass judgment on people like Ja Rule and the Elbaf people as a whole. I think there'll be a social commentary side of the next couple of weeks. While Gabon maybe just spills a little bit of info that the Straw Hats maybe need before they can find the last poneglyph and really fight the Gorosei.
Mm-hmm.
Or fight anyone that has this this power.
Regenerative?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm really struggling on it.
Say it again.
Regenerative. Say it?
Regenerative.
Regenerative. No,
You
don't
added
got
an
it.
extra T's in there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those words, like the word brewery. Can't say the word brewery.
Brewery?
Mm-hmm. That's the one. I think that's just fault of my bogan Australian accent.
There's one word. No, we're getting distracted. This is what we do in the Mocktown podcast.
We talk.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon?
And now that I'm thinking about it, I can't say it. Synonym.
Yeah, I got no issue with synonym.
Synonym,
I think it's my T's. It's when there's like a lot of T's in words, I tend to stop up. Yeah.
But look,
The alliteration ain't alliterating.
The titeration. Nope.
Let's stop there.
Okay. Back to Mocktown.
Yeah, back in.
I think, yeah, there's so many ways this could go. Because if your theory happens, I'll go, checks out.
Yeah.
And if my theory happens, I go, knew it.
Yeah, no. Well, look, ultimately, it's going to be something probably completely different. Like, you can usually, even when you have a strong guess of what Oda's going to do, and you're correct in the outcome, maybe, it's never the way you think it's going to happen.
Because it's different now, One Piece. It's extra things happen.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
he's...
new Luffy would eventually defeat Kaido.
Yeah.
Did no Gear 5 would happen.
No. Did you suspect that Luffy was going to get a power up?
Yeah. Once the power ups start happening, you just know there's always something next.
Yeah, of course.
I do hate that to a sense. I don't want there to be any more.
Yeah.
I know you're wanting Gear 6, but for me, it's like, why can't the main antagonist of a series get to their peak and just, beat the fuck out of people as the show goes on now?
Well, like, you're right. You don't need a power up always.
He
You
doesn't
don't.
need extra power ups.
He just needs to get stronger and better.
Yeah. Still, like, what, 19 or 20?
Yeah, he's 19.
Okay.
So he's a kid. Like, theoretically,
Just
he should be
push-ups,
able
bro.
to just get stronger. Yeah, exactly. He should just keep getting stronger. And also, more experience, more battle IQ. The more people he faces, he knows how strong he can, like, reach.
See, that's what I'm fond of, him just being a better fighter.
Yeah, and I sort of hope that's what happens with you. I'm with you on that. Like, I do hope that Gear 5 is it, but I just can't get over the fact
Most cars
that
have it.
every single Zoan has 3 forms.
So what is it? What are the 3 forms?
You got hybrid, base, and
The full form.
and the full form.
So we haven't seen the full form yet?
Maybe
Or maybe we haven't seen the hybrid. Or is this the hybrid?
That's where that's where it's getting a little sticky for me. Now, see, I think if it is that it's his hybrid, I would be intrigued to find out what the full form is. This makes more sense to be a full form, and you could also explain Gear 4 as being a hybrid, especially with it having the Hagoromo scarf. You could see that as Luffy weaponizing the hybrid for specific things, making, Snake Man, Bounce Man,
Tank Man.
like all those different forms are just him specializing the hybrid form to be specific things. Also, I think in that way, it also is a reference and shows the effects similar to Chopper's human fruit. So Gear 4, like, very similar in the way Chopper's human fruit works, and a lot of the forms are pretty similar to Chopper's forms that we've seen.
Because didn't they say hybrid forms are the strongest?
I believe so. Now, I don't want to confirm that, but I think hybrid form is the strongest. That's why it makes me think, like, full form is the awakened Gear 5. Maybe all hybrid is Luffy, and this is sort of a cop-out, but what if the hybrid is literally just Luffy gets less joyful? Like, he instead of being, like, full-blown wackadoo cartoon hero, like, God, he then just becomes a more grounded version with all the same power.
Ooh, remember when... Okay, sorry.
No,
Remember
cool.
when Blue No? Remember when Luffy took on Blue No?
Yes.
And went Gear 2 for the first time?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that seriousness with wacky toon powers.
Exactly, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, imagine,
Pulling trapdoors up.
and it
making
would
opponents
look
run into
sick.
fake tunnels.
Oh yeah, it would look sick as well if, like, the character design was just the Nika character design with the flames and the Hagoromo scarf and all the white, but in black, or like with black hair. Like,
Or
obviously
like,
fits Luffy.
Cuphead type drawing.
Yeah,
like
that would also be funny. Just
1930s.
but then I feel like
animated.
if you're gonna go more cartoony, it has to be that he's currently in his hybrid, and I'm not stable enough to say that hybrid is the strongest, but
But I feel like
I feel like it is too. I feel like that's
really
something I remember as well. Like, yeah, Kaido's hybrid form, he said, was like his strongest form.
Yeah. When he was just like a human dragon.
Yeah, it was like when he was just Kaido with scales.
Sick.
It was sick. It was
Wait,
sick.
Check this out. I'm a hybrid form.
You're in your hybrid. You're in your white monster form. No, I could see Luffy just stopping here though.
I hope so.
I think
I know you're not big on Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball GT or Dragon Ball Super or Dragon
never
Ball
seen
Daima.
any of it. I've seen the first 100 episodes of Dragon Ball and that's it.
Goku just kept powering up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so boring. You fight someone new and you're like, okay, cool. And it just, he reached God level. I think he reached God 2, because, of course. And then reached another Ultra Instinct. And they were like, what? Only gods can do that. And you're like, well, tell me the God form had another,
Yeah.
It just kept upping the ante.
Yeah,
going.
yeah. And
even fucking Piccolo went orange.
Yeah, I think there's always the chance that that's just going to keep happening because that is something that.
Did that happen to Naruto, or was he just learning new
No,
techniques?
Naruto he had some big drastic step ups. It was less like. I don't know, Naruto's hard to explain, but yes, it was. So it's he just kept getting power ups granted to him. So it was opposite. It was he had to earn. Naruto was more earning power for the first half of Shippuden, and then the second half of Shippuden was being oh, you've done so well with what you were given, we're just going to keep giving you more so you keep getting stronger. So it's he gets more power unlocked from... I can't say anything. I don't want to say anything, but yeah, he just keeps getting more power unlocks by other people. If the Sage of Six Paths comes in and he's just I'm going to give it. Then there's reincarnation stuff, and then there's
But he's not tensing harder and just creating his own things.
No. And this is one thing I do love about Naruto is a lot of his power ups are actually him just convincing the the Nine-Tails Fox to give him more power. To just be he just keeps being getting friendlier and friendlier with
his inner monster.
That's his inner monster. So he just keeps getting friendlier with Karuma.
I like that. You rubbed your belly though when you said
yeah,
the monster.
I did.
You're like,
he goes, the monster, the monster in my belly. Me and him are very good friends, and he's gonna give me a connection to the Sage of Six Paths too.
Is that why you wanted 2 burritos?
That's why I wanted 2 burritos. I say I wanted 2 burritos. My eyes were bigger than my belly, and I said I'm actually only gonna have one.
It's still outside.
Yeah, just sitting there on the deck. But yeah, no, I think. One I really hated was Bleach. Now with Bleach, it's just instead of a power up, it's just you discover every time he needs it, you just discover Ichigo is actually an ancestor of each strong race, and you're okay, it'd be Luffy getting power ups by being oh, you're also part mink, and the final war is under a full moon, so now you've got Sulong. And you're well, he's clearly not part mink.
Monkey.
But that's what I mean. They could really do that. I could also see that. Also, the tattoos with the Shandorans matching Dragon's tattoo, I could see there being a connection to Skypeans in that way. Dragon is an animal. But you can also
Crocodile.
see Croco Mum theory. You know Croco Mum, surely.
But now I'm just thinking, Monkey D. Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy, Dragon, Monkey D. Dragon. Is this why Crocodile is named after an animal as well?
Well,
does that play into anything? Or
no, because I feel Garp and Luffy aren't related to animals. If you're gonna use Dragon, because that's his given name, it would be.
Sorry, I'm just trying to break into.
Yeah, no, you were trying to break into something, and I said, "Sorry, we're closed."
What if we just...
The numbers are just flowing through my head.
But I could see that being a possibility. If they were oh, the Monkey D family has their name because they were they were the minks on the crew, and Luffy's an ancestor of one of Joy Boy's crewmates, which is probably the likely answer, being the whole D thing seems to be derived from the ancient kingdom and from Joy Boy. Um,
So I'm moving around so much.
But they could be like, yeah, this was the monkey mink family, and then just with enough generations passing, they become basically full humans. And as I said, with the tattoos of the Shandorans, that gives me that side. He could have connections with Lunarians. Imagine, like, Joy Boy or the original Nika.
What if his final form, his true form, is just a Lunarian?
A Lunarian version of Gear 5 is what I was thinking, because
Can make
we
fire.
see in the mural that the Sun God Nika is depicted fully, like, blacked out. I think it has wings.
I don't think it does.
No?
Just the shield and a spear.
A shield and a spear.
I want that to be Luffy's next power up, an actual weapon.
I think that's what it'll be. I think he will get some special weapon. I could see
How
him.
good if he gets a fucking spear?
I think the likely thing for that, though, is he finds out something. Let's say they go to Lodestar. They find out something about the Nika. He gets bestowed a shield and a spear. And my way of, like, imagining what Luffy would do if he was bestowed a shield and spear, and they're like, this is how you're going to take down Emu, is he would just see Emu and just throw it at him once, and it would just never come back in. Like, he would just toss it. He'd be like, I don't give a fuck about this. He'd be like, all right, I'll just, like, launch it. So he'd, like, I could imagine him getting it on the island and then just being like, I'm going to launch it towards Merijois. And he just launches this random spear towards Merijois, does a ton of damage or something, and then it's just like, okay, I don't want it. Like, I don't need it. I don't like it.
No,
Because, like, we saw him with the sword. He still punched people. I loved that.
What if he had a shield then?
Just frisbees it.
Yeah, Captain America style.
Yeah, I think he doesn't have the skill to bring it back. I don't think he has boomerang.
No, he never lets go of it, so he just
Oh yeah, he
his
just
arm
shoots
out.
his arm out and, like, slaps someone with it. I could see Luffy fighting, like, Goofy like that with weapons. Like,
I see Luffy fighting Goofy.
that
Yeah.
would be a tough fight. No, get Luffy on Tom and Jerry.
Mhm.
That'd be.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be a good one.
I think I may be wrong, but I believe Oda said Tom and Jerry was, like, his main inspiration for Luffy's power system. He wanted it to be able to fit into a Tom and Jerry or a Looney Tunes.
Which works, like a Popeye type thing.
Yeah. Well, and like, yeah, his power is, like, literally cartoon powers. Like, that makes sense. But I feel I'm gonna make the prediction, and I'm gonna stand on this now, so that next week I can be wrong.
Stand on it.
I'm going to stand on this right now. Number one prediction. Luffy and Loki, a conqueror's clash of some sort. It could be Shanks coming back to the island as well, is going to send the Holy Knights away. The Holy Knights don't get an L to their name. They get a partial win, an unlucky loss. But, like,
So they'll be like, what the hell was that?
yeah, exactly. Like, they're like, oh, we can't do anything about that. Emu's probably going to crack it at them, or probably going to crack it at the Gorosei, hurt one of them. We're going to see that they can be hurt.
God's Knights?
Both Gorosei and God's Knights, like the ones that can regenerate. Like, I could see them failing in Emu's eyes, but to the viewer being like, oh, they actually were winning. They were just unlucky. But then to Emu, he's like, these guys are failures. The Gorosei slap down the God's Knights. They're like, hey, you guys need to be better. Probably have an argument with Shamrock. And then Emu is going to come in for the Gorosei and be like, hey, fuck you guys. Why'd you lose? And then hurt one of them. Like, just damage them. And we're going to see, like, blood come out. And then we're going to be like, oh, these guys, they still have physical bodies. They are still damageable. We need to figure out how Emu hurt them so we can do that. And I think that information is then going to be derived from Gabon. And while the Straw Hats that need to learn that strength, Sanji, Zoro, Luffy, Jinbei maybe, Usopp, I think will also probably learn it. That's when there's going to be more of a social commentary portion of the series with Nico Robin, and Frankie with Vegapunk is probably going to get some power-ups. And we're probably going to see Nami learn more about the weather and more about clouds. And Robin learned more about history, and Chopper learned more about medicine, because there's obviously so much research in that research facility that they found.
See, that would be good. Just the rest of this arc to be a little power-up arc.
Yeah, little power-ups for everyone, a bit of social commentary, a little bit of prep work for the weather. Okay, this is actually a quick little question. Do you think Emu is the final boss or Blackbeard? Like, which one's the final villain?
I think Blackbeard.
I think Blackbeard too. I think Blackbeard did. So here's how I'm seeing it. Elbaf training, they finished, something happens. Maybe Big Mom is the catalyst to make Elbaf. It brings upon Ragnarok with Surtur, destroys Elbaf, causing Elbaf to mobilize and stopping everyone from their little training arcs, get them back into the world, back into the story. Then I think it'll be all action on the world government. They may go to Lodestar first, then go all action, build up a little bit of an army, get their lore back into the story.
The army has to. Oh, so
Kid back into the story.
It's been over 2 years since we've last seen lore.
Really?
Yeah.
God, it feels like it was literally yesterday that I was reading the chapter with Blackbeard versus Lore. That's
2 years.
Crazy.
Yep.
Like, really does feel like yesterday. I love Lore as well. He's probably my favorite non-straw hat pirate.
It's behind you.
He is.
The
He
lore
is.
is
I've got a little lore that I've taken the cape off because it was a little bit too much. A little bit too much with his cloak. But he has the blue cloak from Dressrosa.
He's so skinny.
He is. He's a
So
skinny little
winky.
guy. Skinny little doctor.
He's a doctor. Ozempic. He's in
Yeah.
the Olympics.
Yep. That's, yeah.
So it's true.
Yeah, of course. I think it,
Oh, fucking
because he's really strong.
Yeah.
He's actually just does push-ups all day. He's just in the...
Dude, you gotta do 3 push-ups every 5 minutes.
How many?
No, 3 push-ups every 5 minutes.
Why do I have to do that?
That's the fucking new thing people are doing. Every 5 minutes, 3 push-ups.
Why wouldn't you just do like 6 push-ups every 10 minutes to make it a little easier?
Oh my god, this guy just doesn't understand.
Or even like, what?
When are we dressing up for one of these episodes?
When are we dressing
I
up?
want Halloween to come by. We're dressing up.
Oh,
Heard it here first. We're
yeah,
gonna repeat that
absolutely.
until we-
Who should we dress up as for Halloween?
I think for your hair, you have to go Don Flamingo.
I was about to say, I think it'd be really easy because I can just go get the.
Unless you grow your hair out and you do Sanji.
Yeah, I think if I started growing my hair now, it would be about that length by the time it's Halloween.
Or we do... I bleach my hair again and I do Corazon and we be
We do
Don
the...
Quixote brothers.
That would be cool. We'll buy the cloaks, the large pink. Actually, you know what? I went past a sunglasses shop in a shopping center recently that had Doflamingo's glasses.
They've weirdly hit the mainstream.
Yeah. Who is the model / fashion
I don't know,
person on
but
TikTok that
there have been a lot of like high brand, like high fashion photo shoots of like One Piece inspired things.
Yeah. One Piece has inspired a ridiculous amount of fashion recently, and I think it was Dylan Sprouse or Cole Sprouse. One of them
one of the
was
Sprouse brothers
wore Dofi's glasses.
Oh no, because his partner was Pudding.
Pudding, yeah, and he was
dressed-
supposed to dress as Sanji, but he ended up putting on Dofi's glasses.
She looked good.
Yeah, she
She-
did a well, yeah.
I saw the thumbnail and I was like, "Fucking looks like Pudding."
Yeah.
And then I realized it was a part of the One Piece subreddit, and I was like, "Fucking classic."
Speaking about Pudding,
Oh, where's she at?
she is
Or are you
at
offering?
Hachinosu. You love a pudding. This guy loves. This guy loves low viscosity foods.
Yogurt, pudding,
High
all
viscosity?
of it.
I don't know.
You
This
Googled it
guy
once.
likes. Yeah, I had the answer.
I am
once,
Mr.
but
Viscosity.
I would just question the viscous of
If
everything
I
he eats now.
worked under Crocodile, I'd be Mr. Viscosity.
Yeah, I respect that. I could see you being like Mr. like Labor Day or something really boring, like just deep in the roster.
No, but like
That was an insult, by the way.
cool. Well, because all the dudes were just Mr. like 1 to 10,
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
and then the females were like a holiday.
Yeah. Yeah. Or a day of the week. Yeah.
But for me, I'd be Mr. Viscosity.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I assume you'd
It's like
be
number 15.
You'd be like you'd have the Magellan's power.
Oh, but
The,
just
the
yogurt.
poison,
the
but
gurt.
it's yogurt. Yeah, yeah, just a little fucking yogurt fruit, the gurt fruit.
The gurt.
Not the gurt
Dude,
fruit.
I'd be. That's all I'd eat. Just
Well,
sucking
yeah,
my,
if you
sucking my own
if
finger.
you were made of yogurt, I think you'd quickly get over it. Do you think the person who has the yogurt fruit can choose the flavor?
Change flavors each finger.
Do you think
Chocolate pudding.
Katakuri could change the flavor of his mochi?
Yeah. Sure. Each flavor's a different combination that you can do.
Or
Flavor
do you think-
combinations.
Do you think maybe each flavor has its own devil fruit? Got the strawberry yogurt, strawberry fruit model
Yeah,
yogurt.
But if that's the case,
No,
then
yogurt fruit model strawberry. Sorry.
if we're going that silly, and then there'll be multiple flare
Yeah,
fruits.
What's your flavor? What's your go-to
Uh,
yogurt flavor?
Yogurt,
You gotta remember, you've got to be this flavor as well.
vanilla. Give me the. I don't,
I'd feel like I'd go for a Greek yogurt. I feel like it's got a little bit more heft to it. I feel like
Yeah.
it got more fighting potential with a Greek yogurt.
you can do more of a Greek yogurt for sure.
Yeah, plus cooking. Yeah, you're right. Like,
What would happen for yogurt devil fruit users if they're in the sun for too long? Get a bit stinky.
get a bit stinky.
Dude, where's the milk fruit at?
I'm genuinely shocked we haven't seen it. I feel like the milk fruit would be a fruit that Oda like
We got
gets a
swamp.
cow to eat, and it's in a cover story, and it's just a cow that can produce extra milk.
Or the farmer does it.
Yeah, a farmer who has it, and then just like spends their whole day just making milk.
What would be the worst devil fruit?
Worst devil fruit you can think of?
Besides the fucking jacket fruit.
The jacket fruit.
Oh, the pants.
The pants
Your
fruit.
mate turns
you
into a
get-
pair of pants.
Yeah,
and you
no.
just run
The
fast.
jacket fruit is the worst. Like
Yeah.
I think we've seen. I think the flag. Oh no, was it the wave fruit?
I like that.
Not the Revolutionary Army one.
Yeah.
Diamondes.
Don Quixote.
Yeah,
fruit.
Diamondes.
The Keith Richards.
Yeah,
That was sick.
you like
I
that?
actually really liked that. I thought it was.
I thought it
cool.
was fun. I thought Oda made it way more enjoyable than what, like, if I ate the flag fruit, I'm not thinking about 90% of the shit that Oda thought about doing with that. I'm like, what can I do? Literally, I'd be like, what can I do?
You know that scene in It's Always Sunny?
where Dennis is controlling his erection. And he's like flaccid, erect, flaccid, erect, flaccid, erect. That's the flag fruit. It's just.
That's why Diamante's based after Keith Richards.
We need to cut that.
Why?
I don't want to talk about erections. Alright, let's go
That's
back
staying
into
in.
it.
That's staying
You
in.
say this
That's
is all
staying
staying in?
Yeah.
Controversial.
If people are getting this far,
I respect
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, true. At this point, who really cares? Like, we're not getting copyright strikes and losing our money or anything. Like, who cares?
to differentiate ourselves.
Yeah,
from
let's.
every other
Yeah,
channel.
actually, yeah. You know what?
We're
That's
just
so
fucking
fair.
two bros chatting about.
Talking about One Piece, yeah, it ain't that serious. Whatever. I respect it. Actually, it's pretty funny. What devil fruit would you have?
What I have?
Yeah,
Shit.
go one established, like one that exists, and then do you
Make
have a
up
devil
one?
fruit that you can make up?
Dude, you know what I really like? I've always loved this one ever since there was a wee lad. Smokers.
So do I.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, you can just get into any, like, just turn
Yeah.
to smoke.
Yeah, I feel like Smoker actually doesn't use it strong enough.
He uses it to
Like-
launch his punches.
I don't get that. You know what
Okay.
I always thought? Why doesn't Smokey just like use it to fly up to like the atmosphere to avoid any attacks?
Just, I'm gonna punch you. No, you're not.
No, you're not. Yeah, just like launch himself in the air. Like he can clearly fly with it. He can,
But, like, if he's in a room and there's a door shut, you go through the cracks.
yeah, no, there's
Just-
no
there's
trapping
anything.
him.
No.
There's no trapping him. Theoretically, he shouldn't even be able to be C Prism Stone Cuff because he should just be able to be like, all right, I'm just gonna lose that part of my arm
Yeah.
and then just
I've always liked the
No, yeah, smokers is
fruit.
tough.
I think it's sick.
Yeah, I think if for an established one, like I love, and I only love it because of how OP it is, obviously. But the Oppie Oppie Nomi, Law's Fruit, sick. I think I would
be smart enough for that one.
Yes, I also don't think I would be either.
Penis off.
Yeah, I'm just taking balls. Where my balls at? Where my balls at? He took my balls.
Or just taking people's like toes
Yeah, really, just like.
with the shoe still
But
on.
like, how funny would it be if someone's like running at you and you just take the bottom of their leg, like you just take from like shins down?
Yeah, you just...
It's like they just fall over. You're like, lol.
You're like, that's not my fucking
You
issue.
just teleport. I would just genuinely just
Imagine
teleport
just throwing a rock
parts
and
of
then just
people's
like...
bodies. I do also like an obscure one that I like, that I'd be like not upset to eat, because I would like to eat pretty much any Zoan. I think I'd like a Zoan the most, but I think the Paramecia I'd like to eat and be like, okay, the castle fruit, Beget's fruit. I think that's just so goofy and ridiculous.
Having your skull
But
inside you.
I also imagine I would be able to just think of some crazy ass shit to do with it, and like I'd be able to like derive some pretty wild strength from it.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Especially if you're living in Melbourne at the moment, you just buy the shittest rental.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, now I'm gonna turn it into a castle.
You're the castle.
I am the castle. Yeah.
You're like, oh, 1 bedroom? Chill. Hey, bros, you need somewhere to live?
Yeah.
And then everyone just has one key to the place, and then you just go, oh.
Bron? Yeah.
Or does he
Housing
open it?
crisis over. It'd be pretty annoying. And I assume people would be like, oh, I need to go here, and I'm like, brother, I'm in the middle of the ocean.
True,
Sailing.
you wouldn't be able to travel as much.
Yeah, because I'd be like trying to be socialist like that.
Yeah, but you just have a crew of
You
people.
know what? Maybe I don't mind this capitalism thing, or maybe I'll just live selfishly and be a castle man and hoard wealth.
Yeah,
It'd be easy.
because doesn't anything shrink? You just...
Yeah, it all fits into him, but he can also grow to be the size of a castle, I think, if I recall correctly.
I don't remember.
I may be completely wrong here and misremembering entirely,
In
but I
Whole
feel
Cake?
like at one point he, in Whole Cake, turns into a ship.
No, there's definitely something where he starts
Like he turns
expanding.
into a castle, and I think he has maybe eaten a ship or something like that. But that one, I also really like Wapol's fruit.
Just eating things and
Just
then
eating
producing
things
metals.
and being able to be like, choo and combine things.
Flare is pretty good.
Flare.
Flame. What's it called? Isn't it the
Aces?
flare?
Yeah, Maranomi.
Just because that I liked firebending in Avatar.
Yeah. Okay, what Logia? Like, are you going to go smoker or...
No, I'd stick smoker.
Yeah. I think with a Logia, I would enjoy...
Imagine we got into a fight right now and I just turned the whole room into smoke and then you were just getting punched randomly.
Yeah. No, it'd be tough. Trying to think... I do really like the cold fruit, and I feel like our KG's fruit sort of could be a hard counter to smoke by being like, I'll just put ice everywhere and then you're trapped. Like it's the only fruit that has Logia fruit that I can think of that has a solid enough like power system that it can just truly hold anything. Because like you can just be like, I'm gonna keep making this cold. And I'm just going to keep freezing it over and over again because the water never leaves. There's never a gap.
I also like the weighted devil fruits.
The ton, the kilo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
No, I thought they were pretty cool.
No.
Imagine being like hit, like, so I throw a punch that's like
No,
2
I think
kilos,
it's
and as
used
about to
terribly.
touch you, I just make it like 100 kilos.
Yeah, no, I think it's used terribly because I would be like, I'd be like, I'm going to throw a punch regular, and then the last second I'm going to be like, 5-ton punch.
Yeah.
And it's going to turn to a 5-ton fist.
You've been
and then
hit by a car.
Getting hit by a fucking small mountain at that point.
Big car.
by a freight train. So yeah, I think that would be cool. I also would like the idea of like a gram fruit. I'm just being like walking up to someone and being like boom, and they just like go off into the dust. Like they sort of like turn into the weight of dust and the wind just takes them off.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, like that'd be fun. Also I truly love you're gonna love this segue. I truly love Enel's power.
Yeah, just zap.
Yeah, zap. I think it's also just like
Oh,
lightning's really cool.
light's not working. Bing.
Bing.
Here it
Yeah.
is.
Hey, bang. Oh no, there's a power outage. Not anymore. Oh my god.
You can taser people.
Oh my god. He stopped the power outage, but he also killed like everyone because electricity killed them all. I'm like, get better.
The moment you ask me what ones I like, I forget all of them.
For real. For real. The second I'm like actually quizzed on anything One Piece related, I'm
Choppers?
like, do you think there's more to Chopper's fruit?
I think if it was introduced in the story now, yes, it would be.
Yeah.
But back then, there's nothing.
My interpretation of the human fruit and what I think it separates from the model Nika is I think the human fruit model Nika, which also, can we talk about the fact that means Nika definitely had to be a human if it's a human fruit? Like, he had to be a mortal human that just like overcame something and was able to become this cartoonish character.
Or was a giant that lived for generations.
Or
that's why
that,
they've
yeah,
stories.
yeah. And human is just like, I guess you could sort of refer to every race as a human.
Yeah.
Like, they're all humans.
Base model human.
Because like
variation,
I do find
giant.
it interesting that we haven't had a human fruit model giant, human model mink, model long-legged, Lunarian, Shandoran, or Skypan. But I don't know where I was going with that, actually. I don't know why I said but.
Kaido's fruit. That'd be a sick one. Sorry, I'm just still thinking.
Yeah, no, Kaido's fruit's very cool. Not a huge fan of many of the dinosaur fruits. I think they're a little
I can
boring.
get behind Kings. Be a pterodactyl.
I do love the fact that they just completely break the rules of dinosaurs, and like Queen was able to launch his body like a snake out of his own body. I did love that.
Is it because he's a scientist and he just modified himself?
I think that's how I interpreted it.
But I also didn't. I've never met a dinosaur, so I can't say.
But that's also why it follows through with my theory that they don't know what a dinosaur is, so they think that a dinosaur can do that, and hence their devil fruit can do it.
That works, yeah.
Like, that is another example fitting into it. Like, just 90% of what happened between Queen and King and how they use their devil fruits made me go, and who's, was it, not who's who, Sasaki, with the horns, rotating the,
Yep.
yeah. Like,
Yeah,
that's where,
that
for
did
me,
make
a
sense.
lot of that came in, where I was like, okay, every devil fruit can do whatever you want, you just need to will it. And you're bound by the belief that it has a specific power.
Are there any fruits you're surprised we haven't seen yet? Like a super speed?
I am surprised we haven't seen a speed fruit or like a run fruit or something like that. I'm surprised we haven't seen...
Surprised, oh my god. The cheetah, the leopard man. Rob Lucci, sorry.
Oh, yes.
Why isn't he fast? He should be like...
No, I think he is. I think the issue is every time we see him, he's
getting-
versing Luffy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Luffy's the main character, so Rob Lucci has drawn the short straw on that. But I think if we...
Human model Hermes?
That'd be cool. Human model... Because what? We have human Nika, human Buddha are the three that we have so far. Just like a human Jesus.
You just come back to life.
Yeah, you can just... maybe that's what... They're all human fruits. And the humans are just...
Barrier fruit's pretty good.
Barrier fruit, very good. I like Barto as a character. I also liked the way he got smoked by Shanks.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny, being like, you can go, Luffy's fellas are really silly. They're messing stuff up. And then just bang. Destroy it all. Kill him, basically.
Yeah. Well, so now we've got like a super strength devil fruit. That's what
Yeah,
Burgess
strong
has.
fruit. Strong fruit. Yep.
Jesus Burgess.
Yeah, you're right. Damn. I think that's more of a reference to like not matadors, luchadors.
Jesus.
Yes.
Jesus Burger.
I guess I'm surprised because we've
got
there's
teleportation
really not many. There's really not many that I can think of that's like. I'm surprised we haven't had like a gold fruit, but I feel like that's.
We did in one of the movies.
Oh yeah. Yes. In gold.
Gold?
Yeah, I think it's actually just called Film Gold.
Film Gold.
Or it might be Gold Rush or something like that.
I think it's Film Gold. Also introduced the lucky person, I believe.
Lucky.
There was a person that just had luck.
Oh, yeah. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I've only ever seen Film Red. It's the
I've
only
seen-
movie
I
I've
haven't
ever
seen
seen.
any
Oh,
of
no,
them.
and the one with Douglas Bullet. Stampede.
Stampede.
That was a good one. I enjoyed that. I like Douglas Bullet. I thought he was a cool character.
It's a cool last name to have. Bullet.
Yeah.
Bullet.
Douglas.
Dougie Bull.
Dougie Bullet.
D Bullet.
Dougie Bullet sounds like a 1960s baseball player.
Up next, we got Dougie Bullet.
We got Dougie Bullet, and there he goes on his 17th home run. I feel like that was a good announcer voice.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. Humble me. I like that.
Pitching for the New York Yankees, Dougie Bullet. Up next, we have Babe Ruth on the field.
We got Jackie Robinson. And, he hit a home run. Yay. For the New York Yankees. If anyone gets that, shout out.
What?
Do you know who Jackie Robinson
Yeah.
is? Yeah. Have you not heard the first ever Jackie Robinson game commentary? It's the funniest thing in the world. Do yourself a favor and look up.
Is this the Shane Gillis bit?
No, yes, I think he does do a bit. No, but he's right though, because it is really like that. They just sound so upset about how good he is. About how good he is. They're just like, they're like, oh, damn it.
Oh.
This guy's really fucking making us white boys look bad.
I just have nothing to say.
Yeah?
That I would have to cut. If you want
That's even worse. I don't think you should say that, because now it sounds like you only have racist things to say.
No, it's not racist. It would be perpetuating. I would be showing how racist those commentators
Yes,
were.
yeah, no, you can't really say, yeah. I tried to allude to it enough where it was like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you
But
don't.
if you're an hour and 15 minutes into this,
Ridiculous rambling. We did have a plan initially. I set up. I had taken some observations to talk about, and I brought it up in the intro, so we need to talk about it.
we could save it.
But I brought it up in the intro, Declan.
Nah.
I don't know. What do you guys think? You're gonna find out right now. Keep watching.
We're already an hour in.
Yeah, I know. It won't take long. Actually, yeah. Do you want to leave it to next episode?
Well, there'll be another break coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I lied to you before. This was just an episode of having a bit of fun chatting about One Piece and Anel's cover story. Actually, I'm glad that this is happening because I want to dig a little deeper into the history of like the name Arc Maxim and like all that stuff.
Arc Maxing.
Arc Maxim. But moral of the story,
One Piece
very
is pretty good.
important, very important cover story, and One Piece is pretty good. And I hate cherry pies.
I love cherry pies.
I love drink.
I hate drink.
Mocktown podcast.
Oh, just like that, eh?
Yeah,
Fucking-
I like it.
Let's go home.
Let's go home. Let's
Let's
get
figure out how much our cards are worth.
Yeah, hell yeah, let's do that. Let's just have some time. Time to hang out and play around. Thank you guys for coming to another episode of the Mocktown podcast. If you are still here at this point in the show, weird.
Leave
thank
comments.
you. Please,
Like,
leave a
favorite,
comment.
subscribe.
Like, favorite. We hope that these are showing up. There have been some issues with our channel over the last week, just being able to view the videos, but I think that's all sorted now. Yeah, again, thank you very much for listening and clicking on the video, whether it was for a minute and you skip to the end, or if you don't hear this at all, the sentiment's still the same. Thank you for coming to the Mocktown podcast.
Blah, blah, blah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I was just about to press the